Hey guys, and welcome to Under Construction. Today we are going to hop around with Fergus the Frog. Alright, so this is Fergus. Now, Fergus has three animations. The first one is just a frame of him facing to the right. Now we've got another animation where Fergus turns from facing right to facing left, and it sort of eases eases out. So the ending is a little bit more keyframed or tweened than the start. And over here, animation 3, he turns from the left to the right. So as you see, what I mean is when I say ease out, it starts off moving quite fast, and then towards the end is the movement, the animation becomes a little bit more dense, so there's more keyframes there, okay? So those are the three animations. Now we've got the touch behavior and we've got ground. Now ground is a tiled object. So the graphic itself is only about this big. That's the way I imported the graphic, okay? And then I basically just stretched it to go and basically to be twice as wide as the screen. The screen itself is 640. I made this 1280. That way, you know, hopefully if you're playing it on a device and maybe there's a little bit more space to the side, you know, it'll fill up that space. So the other thing we've got, yes, I already said the touch behavior. So what we're going to do is touch on Fergus, and every time you tap on him or click on him, he's going to jump all up. It's I made it so there are 3 jumps to the end of the screen, then he's going to turn around, and if you tap again, he's going to go back and so forth. So he basically just jumps from left to right and right to left. Simple as that. Now that's it for the graphics and all that, and here we have the animations. So sorry, the tweens, the code. Fergus has a tween behavior. That's all he's got, okay? The only behavior he's got. Now I've made one variable called jumps. Basically what we want to do is we count the jumps from the reason we count the jumps is that when Fergus lands, it checks whether it's on 3 jumps, and which means the end of the screen, and if it's on 3, he's gonna turn animation 2 from right to left, and if it's on 6 jumps, which is going to be back at the start, 1 2 3 4 5 6, then he's going to turn again from, I'm just getting my directions wrong now, left to right, okay, which is animation 3, and then we set the jumps to 0. So basically this happens on the tween landing finished, okay, or the tween land finished. The tweens are set up in a simple way. Basically what we do, there's a little bit of animation principle here. When we touch Fergus and no tweens are playing, okay, so the only time you can interact with Fergus if there are no tweens playing, Fergus is going to squash. Basically what I did is I squashed Fergus, sort of like doing this and making him a little bit wider. Let's just undo that. To figure out which size I like, which size works and looks right, and then I type those values in, okay, in pixels. You can do this by doing the scale property. You can do scale property, but that scales the whole of Fergus. So you can do it by doing width and height, and you know, multiplying it by a value or dividing it by a value, but I find the pixels are precise and easier, so in this particular case. So basically when you tap him and nothing's playing, we add 1 to jump and we squash Fergus. When squash animation is finished, we stretch him out, so he's going to squash down, and then as he's jumping up, he's going to stretch out. Then he's sort of going to go back to normal size, and then when he lands, he's going to squash down again and turn around while he's popping back up to normal. So those are the tweens here, okay? So we've got when squash is finished, we are now stretching him, and we're also going to now animate the Y property, so we're moving him up, okay? Now, if jumps is less than 4, so pretty explanatory, he's going right, self-explanatory. We also move him 128 pixels from left to right, okay? Over a certain number of amount of time. Otherwise, we move him left, okay? So if it's more than 3, then we move him left. When stretch is finished, you see here that I tweened him back to standard, which is just to his normal size. And then when standard is finished, then we do the landing tween, which we do a squash again, and then I have one last tween, which is settle. Okay, and the settle is just when he goes back to normal size. And on this one here, I check the jumps and see if it's 3 or 6, and we set I don't need this property here because we've already got those set up. I was just playing around with something, so we'll take this out. But basically, if it's 3 jumps, so it means right side of the screen, we set animation 2, and if it's 6, which is back at the left side of the screen but not the start because it's on 6 jumps, we set animation 3 and jumps back to 0 and we start again. Okay, let's give this a go and I'll show you guys what it looks like. You tap Fergus, he jumps, turns around, and we keep going. See, if I keep tapping him, nothing else happens. I don't disturb the tweens because it's only really interacting with him when no tweens are playing. So as you see, pretty simple and cool effect. It's a nice way to combine tweens and traditional animation. So you've actually got some pre-rendered animations plus combining some tweens to add a bit of squash and stretch. You can do a lot with this system. This is just a simple example. Okay, just remember the background here is a tile background. I made it a little slab like this, and you can just stretch it to any size. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see. Yeah, feel free to download Fergus, play around with him, learn from this project. Yeah, and hope you guys enjoy it, okay, or understand it. If you have any questions, post some in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next episode.